Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Saturday the 11th of October. So Golden Vendor is at the end of the video as well, if you want to see that. Timecodes will be in the description for jumping ahead for that and for anything else here. My advice is to do anything except for capturing a town. I think this one, while it is decently quick, it's kind of unreliable the way towns can be set up sometimes. Either it can take ages for you to get to them and you can get killed on the way, or they just not capturable if your faction has taken over the whole place. So yeah, these ones here, so much easier for the same amount of seals. Just it's usually less work, like 99% of the time. Okay, so starting off pretty straightforward, we've got deconstructing items at a blacksmithing table. This is probably the best of the deconstructing ones, just taking stuff without crafting things. The quickest way by far is just go to one. If you have some iron ingots and some star materials, just craft a bunch of iron daggers. Costs like 24 iron ingots. Oh, sorry, no, not 8. That's 8. So 16 iron ingots, 8 star materials, and that's it. But if you don't want to use your own resources, which, you know, it's best to borrow other people's stuff when you can, let me show you a couple of things you can do. So if you are above level 10, you'll have access to Imperial City. Use this. This place, in my opinion, is the best for finding stuff to decon. The reason for that is this area here, you can travel to it from anywhere in like Overland, and as soon as you get inside, there'll be these weapon racks over here, and they'll have metallic items. So most of this is bows and stuff, but there's an axe, there's a dagger, there's an axe there. We'll grab those. Over to this one here, and the same thing. So you can see the battle axes. We got those swords, and yeah. From that point, just go over to where the you'll see like the tanning icon, this thing here. There will be a blacksmithing station in this room. So you just go to the blacksmithing station, take the items here, and deconstruct them. Now, you will get a few crafting materials from doing this. If you want more crafting materials for, say, when you get the crafting with X skill endeavors, for making those get through quicker. Stealing, like stolen stuff, you tend to get more. I don't know why, but yeah, that's just the way it is. Yeah, I'll show you a way to steal as well after the next one. But yeah, this is the most straightforward one if you just want to deconstruct stuff. So when you're ready to go out, you just exit here. There's more stuff out there that's blacksmithing items in there. There's fucking heaps. It's the most common item that you'll find all over the place, because heavy armor works as well. But if you are below level 10, let me show you another option. Just firstly go to DLC, Imperial City. This DLC here, just make sure you purchase it. It's free, so everybody's got access to it. What you want to do is go to the main map here, go to Cyrodiil, and from this view here, just go White Gold Tower. Don't worry about the difficulty. You're not going in here to fight anything. You can literally jump in here on a level 3 and just find this stuff. What you're looking for instead is in the very first room when you get in, is just look for anything that's the same. So just any of these blacksmithing items here. So you've got the metallic weapons over here. You got a bunch of them here. On the floor, these dead bodies, you'll see weapons that they have there, and there's heaps of them here. It's the same as the other day with the woodworking items, but instead you're grabbing the swords instead of the shields. And yeah, same thing with the Daedric Embers trophy vault in here. You can just head in here. There's heavy armor and there's like weapons on these things over here. You can grab them too, and then you just leave. You go to a town to find a blacksmithing station, and you can just deconstruct them there. So when you're done, just go to the exit here, because what that'll do is it'll take you straight back to where you queued in from. So you'll be at a way shrine, so you can just travel to wherever you need to go from there. So you see here, we're back at the waste run. And the third way is to steal stuff. If you want a good stolen option, Bright Steel Armory has all you need. You just got to be a bit careful of these guys here. But you can go into the corners here, go out of line of sight, and just grab all the bladed weapons on these weapon racks. There's heaps. Over here, over here, over here. Some on the dummy over here. Some blades on the bench there. And then the blacksmithing station is just in the undercover area, just here. Right, so over here, and then just grab these and then deconstruct them. So yeah, like I said, usually the stolen items will give you more materials if you want that. And if you do that on a low level character, it means that the items you get will be iron ingots, and in that case, that's like the best one to use for crafting endeavors because it's the cheapest one. Okay, next up is healing with Scribed Skills. This is, without a doubt, one of the best endeavors in the game, but it just requires a little bit of setting up for you to be able to do it easily. But you can just, there is a way to just AFK this, basically. So what you need is two things. You need an ability that heals you with scribing, that's like a scribing skill, and you need something that takes away your health. Okay, if you just grab a skill that heals you, and you just try and use it now, nothing will happen, because as I said, you need to be missing health for it to work. So if I just take that away, bam, now it starts working. Alright, the fastest possible option to reach to heal yourself with a Scribed skill is Wield Soul, which you get from the very first quest in the Scribing questline, second era of Scribing. It takes about 2 to 5 minutes to do that quest, and then you need to complete the Wing of the Indrik in order to unlock Sage's Remedy and the healing option. That takes about 30 minutes to an hour on average, but once you've done that, it's quite easy to do this one. So you get Healing Soul, Sage's Remedy. You can get Druid's Resurgence as well, and you want Vitality. Though these will take a little bit more work, right? So here's a list of the quests in the Scribing questline. So yeah, second area of Scribing, you get Wield Soul. Wing of the Indrik, you get Sage's Remedy and Heal Focus. So as soon as you do that, you'll be able to do this, as long as you have something that takes away health. And then Wing of the Netch, don't worry about that. Wing of the Dragon is what you want, because when you do Wing of the Dragon, you'll be able to get the some options from the Mages Guild. There's a UASP page on it. I'll link it in the description if you want to take a look for yourself. But it explains how to get these options here from the Mages Guild in various zones. Vitality is amazing because it heals you, like increases your healing done. Should be self-explanatory for this endeavor. And the only reason to use Druid's Resurgence is if you want it to be a little bit better on sustain. But if you have a Nightblade max level, Sage's Remedy is a better option, I think. But yeah, just doesn't really matter too much here. So this is the option I use: Vitality, Sage's Remedy, and Healing. That's my setup. And then I use an ability that takes away health. Nightblades are great for this because they have Siphoning Strike, which takes away health and gives you magicka and stamina. So it's a symbiotic process. You heal with your Scribed skill, which costs magicka, and then you take away health with siphoning attacks, which gives you back your magicka. So you just do back and forth. It's like Equilibrium and healing spam in Skyrim, leveling up restoration the slow way. So yeah, pretty much the same thing. So if I go siphoning attacks a bunch of times, and then swap over Healing Soul, and that's the easiest way to do it from the get-go. There is one option you want to get later if you can, and that is Banner Bearer. So if you have a character with level 5 in support skill line, for the PvP skill lines, you'll get access to Banner Bearer. Now, if you can get this, there is a specific focus that you want. Let me show you. So you want the Immobilized focus. I don't have it here, but what it does is it will... I need to... Hold on. Let me find it. Useful here. So, Immobilize. It costs health, and then you get Sage's Remedy from the Wing of the Indrik, which heals you for health every 2 seconds. So it takes away health, but heals health. So all you have to do, if you've got this unlocked, with this specific Immobilize focus script, is activate it. So all you'd have to do now is... hold on. It's been a while since I used these, hold on. So just activate it here. And while it's doing this, it will take away your resources, but slowly heal you over time. Now, if you don't have Immobilized, there is another option. If you're a vampire, in the world skill line, go Vampire and get Blood Frenzy if you have access to this. It literally does the same thing, except you use Blood Frenzy and a different Banner Bearer main skill. So as you can see on the left there, it's just slowly getting the endeavor done. So now if you want, you can just hop up, go somewhere else, do something like get a coffee or watch YouTube or some shit in the background, or you could do your automata, you could deconstruct your items at a blacksmithing table, just as long as you don't leave this bar, because as soon as you leave the bar, it disables it. So just make sure you keep it up, because the vampirism one doesn't go away when you do that. Now, if you don't have a Nightblade or a vampire, another option for taking away health, the next best thing, is in Undaunted, Blood Ulcer. This takes away health, it just doesn't give you resources back, which is the main reason I don't use it. If you want this, you can go to any of the 3 starting zones taverns. So one of the options is, this is the quickest one to get to, Rosy Lion in Glanumbra, Daggerfall. Start with this way shrine by default. Come over here, through the door, through here. On the ground floor where this icon is, there'll be a female orc who has a quest for you. Just accept that quest, you'll unlock the skill line, you're good to go from there. So if you can't get Altar, if you like have no characters above level 10, the last option is to just go into a dungeon, or like use it while you're doing maybe the Dwarven Automata today, if you're going to do that one instead. Or if you're going to do that one. Because, yeah, especially there's some places where you can take a shit ton of damage while trying to do this, and I'll show you some of those. But yeah, they're the options there. So, best option is Immobilize Bannerbearer, or Bannerbearer with preferably Restore Resources if you have that, and the Sage's Remedy and Vampirism Blood Frenzy, or Siphoning Attacks and Magical Healing Soul. Those are usually the options I go for. But you can see what I mean. It's so easy to do this one. Basically, as soon as your character is like set up for this, as soon as you log in and see this endeavor, you can just fucking start getting it done straight away. Digging up chests from treasure maps. You only need one. Now, there's a couple of ways to get treasure maps in this game. They show up in the miscellaneous tab. They're these blue things here, so I've got some here. Now, the quickest way to get one if you don't already is to go into a guild store. Just look up heaps of them, see what the best deal is. I'll show you how. So go trophy into treasure map here and just check the result. Now, there's only one here. That's not a great option. But when you go through, let me go through some of the best zones for people who don't have many wayshrines. If you have the wayshrines unlocked in some zones, it's going to depend. But here are some ones that you can absolutely rely on because these zones are very small. So even if you don't have any wayshrines unlocked, for example, Curse Mackay here, because the zone is so tiny, you can get from one side to the other in like a minute or two. They're the best because without any prior like stuff unlocked, it's just super easy. Also, home tours will impact it. So Stroth Mackay is one here. Betnik over here is another good one. Bleakrock Isle is okay, but it doesn't have a home you can easily travel to. Balfoyan over here is great, and Knarthy's Roost is also great. Artaeum is also pretty good, but while the house is over here, getting all the way out here for this location, where usually the treasure maps are, bit of a pain in the ass. The reason I say that is like sometimes you don't have these wayshrines by default. So I have a video that explains. It goes through like a basic tutorial on home tours, how you can use this to teleport around if you don't have any wayshrines. You can do the same thing for major zones, you can check those, but yeah, it goes into a bit of detail on how to do that. It is really good using home tours to be able to teleport around. Saves you having to travel all the way there. The other way to get treasure maps is to, you can do dolmens. Basically, ironically, you can unlock, like you can go and find treasure maps, and sometimes they'll have treasure maps of their own. Yeah, dolmens are usually the best other way. So just do dolmens a bunch of times, you probably get one. But usually you'll find some treasure maps for very cheap anyway. So that's my preference there. Just if you have a bit of gold, just do this. If you don't have a bit of gold for this today, just do the Dwarven Automata, I would say. Here, check this one. Look what they've got. Yeah, here we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, Bleakrock, Betnik. There you go. Some of the trendy ones. Balfoyan as well. That's good stuff. All that stuff are really cheap gold there. Basically the same amount you spend on one of those bloody furniture items for whenever those endeavors come up. So yeah, any of those is fine. Alright. Other than that, I'm going to link in the description as well. A few things to go through. There is a add-on called Lost Treasure that I suggest you get. This one here, it marks treasure maps on the map. So if you don't want to have to do the little mini game to locate where they are, instead it will just show you on the map where to find them. Here it is here. There's the den mound for the treasure map. Now the good thing about these is nobody else can actually take these from you. There's a guaranteed drop for this. So here's the treasure chest, and that's it. You can loot the treasure chests, and I do suggest you do, but you don't have to. Alright, so now onto Dwarven Automata. These are what you're looking for. Spiders, Centurions, and Spears. These guys here. The regular old Dwarven Automata is all that works. The Fabricants from Clockwork City, they don't actually count, so you just have to use these ones here. There are a couple of places that are easy to reach. I'll go through them first, right? Assuming, like, nobody has any wayshines anywhere, right? This is probably the best option for that. Inner Sea Armature, right here. In the first few rooms, there's a couple of, like, humanoid enemies, but after that, there'll be these, like, pipe things on the ground that just spew out little weak spiders, and you can kill them. The only thing is, this usually is like the place everybody goes to, and you'll find sometimes people just go through there and just kill everything, and you've got to wait for shit to spawn. It can be annoying. Another good option, Deshan, Lower Bethaniel, the delve just here. Again, this is usually where a lot of people go, though. My preferred choice is actually Craglawn, specifically Methanas. The reason for this, even though the enemies in here are really, really tough, because pretty much nobody ever goes here, it just means that I can come in here and just do this whenever I feel like it. But one, there is a lot of enemies in here, and two, they're very tanky and they all pull at like very well. All the enemies spawn at like pull at once. So all these enemies will pull regardless of which one you pull or which one you attack here. Same with this group over here. This entire group will pull if you attack one of those. But it just means, because you only need 5, there's heap here. Up until, I think, this point, they stopped spawning. All this stuff here is different. You've got a giant spider, I think, here. And that's a boss. That boss is quite tough, I'm pretty sure. This whole place is, like, designed for group play. So it's like an old normal dungeon. But the enemies in here are pretty straightforward. Methanas or Lower Bethaniel. Home tools would be your best bet. So for Methanas, Earth's Cavern is great. For Deshan, you probably want to go Quantum in Aurelia, come out here and get Squashine for access to Lower Bethaniel. There's also... where is it? Rakunzelft, and I believe there's another one. Is it Ricardark? Where is it? There's another one up here somewhere. Ricardark, here we go. These two here have Dwarven Automata in them as well that you can use. If you have the Orsinium DLC, you've also got Rekindlelift. This has shit tons of Dwarven Automata everywhere, so you can kill them too. Now, let me also show you one last option, or one last pair of options, which is a dungeon. I'll just go one dungeon, actually. There's only one really good one. Alright, let's talk about the last option, Darkstone Caverns 2, an instance area, which means you're not waiting for shit to respawn. You can just jump in here on your own and everything is like spawned ready to go. So you're just not wasting as much time. The only issue is everything here is really tough. I'll just ignore these guys here. If you don't have Cloak or a source of invisibility, my advice would just be just run and keep healing yourself until you get to the room which the Dwarven Automata are located. You'll get pulled out of Cloak sometimes too, which is annoying, but yeah, nothing you can really do. So these rooms here will have no automata. You have to come to this room here, and then you'll find shit tons of them. So this section here, I don't know exactly how to cause it, but I know you can cause the boss to spawn early, and he will kill everything in here. And so long as you've damaged everything in this like little room here, or all these enemies, when he insta-kills them, he will, like, it will count for you. But oh, there we go. It just, yeah, that's what I mean. After a bunch of time, he'll just kill them instantly. I don't know what causes that, but that's a good way to get it working straight away. So yeah, just cloak or just let him kill you, and that's it. And you can just run away. Yeah, another great option there. So yeah, if you want quick access to this, the quickest thing I'd say would be Flaming Exploratory for home tours. I don't know of any other houses nearby here that could work, unfortunately. But that's fine. It's a like, if you're at the point where you can do this, okay, you're probably pretty established anyway. So yeah, just taking a look at the Golden Vendor. So I wouldn't really bother, but I'll still go through everything. So 2 sets of base game shoulders. You know how I feel about shoulders in the Golden Vendor. I say don't get them because you can easily get them with just keys over time. So Krag is similar to Orin's, actually. These two are actually, yeah, very similar how they work. So it's just like a close range conal AoE in front of you that just deals damage over time. The one piece is pretty good. Offensive pen can be nice if you're not at the cap, like if you're in like unoptimized trials and stuff like that. It's pretty good. But the 2 piece is pretty underwhelming, especially since in some cases you don't really want to be melee. This set is just kind of worthless in those situations. But the damage is okay. And Krag, Fungal Grotto 1 is the easiest dungeon to do, veteran and normal. So yeah, getting Krag is pretty quick as well. Yeah, wouldn't get this here. Tremor Scale, this is a decent tanking set. Reduces enemy armor, that's the main thing. So when you taunt, which is bloody all the time as a tank, you deal a bit of damage, and then, yeah, reducing armor is always good. Optimizing, not needing as much armor pen as a damage dealer, always great. But there's other better options out there, but you really can't go wrong with Tremor Scale. That being said, yeah, don't buy it here. You can just easily get it from keys on the vendors at the Undaunted area. Auroran, so just like Krag, it applies, it's got a conal lightning just like a lightning effect every 1 second. So it does about the same amount of damage as like Venomous Smite over like each second. Direct damage, pretty much every class has a good source of that they'll apply constantly, because Arcanists and Templars, Jab and Fate Carver actually count as direct damage now, so everybody can apply this consistently. The problem is melee range, and that much damage isn't like crazy. Like it's not game changing. So it's yeah, like any of the jury here, either getting this jury, like, it's not going to be enough to get the 5-piece. You still need to get the weapons. And for dungeons where Auroran and Jailer are the case, you're going to need to do those dungeons anyway to get the weapons. So if you're going to do that, you might as well get the jury from there. Because they're all, none of these are like the best sets in the game. They're all underwhelming. So going gold jury on this stuff is not going to be worth it. It's best to just do the content and get the blue or purple jury. Or just buy them from guild stores in the case of the Overland stuff. Yeah, Auroran's, it's okay. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. Like, if you have a melee range build, it's okay. But the 2 to 4 piece isn't great either. Usually you want weapon and spell damage crit. Offensive pen's pretty good though, usually. Yeah, the max health kind of puts it in like in the middle of two niches, you know. For PvP, you don't, like, those 2 to 4 piece are okay, but the 5-piece for PvP, gradual damage is not the way to kill people, and that much damage anyway. Remember, in PvP, the damage gets halved, so it only deals like 700 damage a second, and that's, especially since it's melee range, it's not really going to get anybody killed. And yeah, just maximum health. There's so many sets out there that just give you heaps of weapon and spell damage and crit, when, like, you can easily get health in other forms, whereas you can't really get those as easily. So yeah, my advice, don't get those. Oh, I nearly accidentally bought it there. Whoops. Okay, so Bog Raider. This is pretty shit. I've got to be real with you. 10 ultimate every 10 seconds. That's 1 ultimate. That's less than minor heroism. Like, don't bother with this set. And the health recovery isn't great either, because, you know, waiting for an enemy to die, sure, you could do, like, trash packs or, like, shit like the Harrow Storms and stuff like that, because shit dies constantly there. But when you look at things like Permafrost, this comes from Blackwood, that's the only thing about it, it's easy to get your hands on. But you look at shit like Permafrost, just putting a damage shield on, you pretty much get the same amount of health recovery. So yeah, not really a set I would recommend, because there's just better things out there. Like when you look at things like, for example, Crest of Cyrodiil, when you block, you get like 8,000 health if you have high health, every, like, I think it's 4 seconds. So at that point, yeah, it's only 3,000 here because I've got like 18,000 health. But if you have like 40,000 health as a tank, it goes up to like 8 or 7,000, and that's like 4,000 health recovery. Even now, it's like 2,000 health recovery. Why would you use that when you could use a set like this, and you can buy it as well? Anyway, it is more expensive, but you know, this is so important. This fucking jury is really expensive, so that doesn't really help anyway. So yeah. Not really a set I'd get either. Jailers. Now, I've heard a lot of bad things about this set, but on paper, it doesn't look awful. The only thing is, like, you shouldn't be in a situation where you're kind of taking that much damage for it to work. And also, in this day and age, Major Vitality, while it is a very strong buff, Wield Soul. This is a very easy skill to get, and just completing the Scribing Questline, you get access to Vitality. So you can easily get an option of Vitality which doesn't require you to get absolutely fucking smacked in the face. Just have this every 10 seconds. So because skills are less of a... Like, you can only have 2 5-piece sets, whereas you can have 10 skills. It will never be more beneficial for you to use this buff for a whole set as opposed to a single skill that heals you and is good anyway. So there's really no situation where you want to be using this, and it also comes from a DLC advanced dungeon. So I can see, like, it's not awful. Major Vitality is an amazing buff, but one, it's from a really difficult dungeon, and two, you can just get this buff easily from other sources. So just why would you use this? It's just, yeah, I personally, I can see the frustration there. And then High Isle. This set, the biggest problem with this is when you're healed, you get a bunch of spell and weapon damage. Like, that's basically, you heal yourself all the time, right? It doesn't work on other players, just keep that in mind. And if you heal yourself when you're full health, that doesn't count. You have to have actually lost health. So you basically have to... It's not always going to be applying to you in, like, trials and dungeons, because there are going to be circumstances where you're just not taking damage. And again, if you're not taking damage, you're not making use of this. That's the issue, and it only lasts 5 seconds. So yeah, if it actually worked, if you just were healed without, like, and you were at full health, it would still be good. It would still be okay. But even then, the 2 to 4 piece compared to other damage sets in the game is not very good. When you consider things like Julianus, Hundings, Order's Wrath, Tideborn Wildstalker, that stuff is all crafted and honestly easier to get than this. Just wouldn't bother. I know people do Volcanic Vents a lot, so these will come up a lot, but yeah, it's not a set I would really recommend either. Because yeah, that amount of weapon and spell damage, it's kind of it is more than Julianus and Hundings, but it's kind of invalidated because the 2 to 4 piece for Hundings, there's crit chance in there, which as a damage dealer is better for you. Because we look at Julianus, there's 2 lots of crit chance and 1 magicka, which is a better 2 to 4 piece. But if you could give that to, like, if it worked for other players, it'd be great, but it doesn't. So yeah. I don't suggest this one at all, either. Alright, so that's everything. So that's all the stuff for today. If you have any questions for me, as always, just give me a holler. But thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next time.